Physicists calculated the odds of this universe existing by chance. The number they arrived at was 1 in 10, raised to the power of 10, raised to the power of 123. For context, that number has more zeros than atoms in the observable universe. And after writing it down, some of them became believers. Others did not. The number did not care either way. That number comes from the fine-tuning argument, one of the oldest and most debated cases for the existence of God. And before examining whether it holds, it is worth asking something more fundamental. Why does the human mind reach for an answer at all? Cognitive scientists call it the hyperactive agency detection device. The brain evolved to assume intention behind events. Rustling in the grass means a predator. A drought means displeasure. A child born healthy means grace. The brain did not evolve to distinguish between a real agent and an imagined one. It evolved to err toward both. Every time. This means the instinct to believe in something greater is not superstition. It is, in a precise biological sense, the safest default the human mind ever developed. 100,000 years of evidence across every continent and every language points to the same pattern. No civilization has ever existed that did not believe in forces beyond the visible world. The instinct is consistent. The question is whether it points to something real. Return to that number. The physical constants of this universe, the gravitational constant, the cosmological constant, and the precise ratio of electromagnetic to gravitational force are calibrated to values so exact that altering any one of them by even the smallest margin would produce a universe incapable of forming stars, planets, or life, a universe of expanding gas and permanent darkness. The fine-tuning argument says that precision at that scale does not arise without a source. A watch implies a watchmaker. A universe this exact implies something that made it exact. But here is where it gets strange. Physics offers a counter. The multiverse hypothesis proposes that this universe is one of an almost infinite number of universes, each with different constants. Most of them are empty, lifeless, dark. We exist in this one because this is the only kind where existence is possible. We did not win an unlikely lottery. We simply cannot observe the universes where no one won. This is called the anthropic principle, and it is either a profound insight or a profound evasion, depending on who you ask. Then comes the cosmological argument, older still. Everything that exists has a cause. The universe exists. Therefore, the universe has a cause. And whatever caused the universe, existing outside of time, outside of matter, uncaused by anything prior, that is what theologians have always meant when they say God, which raises a terrifying possibility. Stephen Hawking and James Hartle's no-boundary proposal suggests that time itself emerged at the moment of the Big Bang, not before it at it, which means asking what caused the Big Bang is like asking what lies north of the North Pole. The question is grammatically coherent. Physically, it dissolves. Every serious argument for God's existence reaches a point where the tools available to answer it stop working. Not because the argument is weak, because the question lives in a place those tools were never designed to reach. Consider what philosopher David Chalmers called the hard problem of consciousness. Science can map every one of the 86 billion neurons in the human brain, trace every signal, account for every electrochemical exchange, and build a complete structural model of the organ that produces thought. And still, it cannot explain why any of it feels like something. Why is there a self behind your eyes, and not simply a process running silently in the dark? That gap between physical mechanism and inner experience mirrors the gap that appears every time a serious mind tries to explain why anything exists at all. Science describes the structure of things with extraordinary precision. It does not explain why structure exists rather than nothing. Philosopher Gottfried Leibniz asked it plainly 3 centuries ago, why is there something rather than nothing? That question has never received a satisfying empirical answer, not because the investigation has been insufficient, but because the question precedes the conditions under which empirical investigation operates. And this changes everything. Because if the question cannot be closed by evidence, if no experiment can reach outside the universe in which it is conducted, then dismissing it entirely requires the same act of faith that answering it does. The confident atheist and the confident theist are standing at the same edge. One says, beyond this, nothing. The other says, beyond this, something. Neither has crossed it. Neither can. What remains is the position many philosophers quietly occupy, though rarely advertise: honest uncertainty. Not agnosticism as indifference, agnosticism as precision. The recognition that the most intellectually rigorous answer available to a thinking mind may simply be, I do not know, and I cannot. Perhaps the discomfort is not the problem. Perhaps it is the point. Philosopher William James observed that belief in God is not primarily an intellectual position. It is an orientation toward existence. The question is not whether a creator exists the way a planet or a particle exists, verifiable, measurable, subject to experiment. The question is whether the universe has the character of something addressed or the character of something indifferent. That distinction changes how you move through your life, not because it is resolved, but because you must choose how to hold it every day, in every decision that touches meaning, mortality, or what you owe to other people. Every generation inherits this question and discovers it cannot be handed back. It cannot be settled by a parent, extracted from a text, or closed by a physicist. It can only be carried carefully and without pretending it weighs less than it does. If the existence of God cannot be proven and cannot be disproven, then maybe the question was never really about God. Maybe it was always about you, about what you need the universe to be, and whether you are honest enough to admit you do not know.